Tekken fans have been pleading for Tifa to be a crossover character in Tekken 8. But in all honesty, none of us should have been surprised when they pull shit like this. Instead of Tifa, we have Clive Rosefield. And you know, I am thinking about it for more than 2 seconds realized, wow, we are all stupid. Of course, because in Tekken 7 they had a Final Fantasy crossover character, the main protagonist of Final Fantasy 15, Noctis Lucius Kylum. So it would only make logical sense for them to have the main protagonist of Final Fantasy 16, Clive Rosefield. It just makes sense. And you know, for a short amount of time, I was actually on the Tifa train. You know, when I saw a video of her kicking ass and throwing hands like she was a complete badass and had no qualms fighting a giant monster in Final Fantasy VII, I thought, you know what? That moveset would work very well in Tekken. But, you know, then I was like the Italian Senate and thought, no, what is this? Get this out of the way. The one good thing you will always, you should always expect from Tekken and Harada is that they will always do something that you least expect. Even though we should have expected this, from the get-go, we should have expected main character of Final Fantasy. Main character. I know Tifa is technically a main character. I mean, the playable character. I know you can play as Tifa. Don't get off my dick, alright? Don't be like Tifa. Instead, get off my dick. Now, look, we should have seen this coming, like Tifa. I'll stop. Because I kept seeing lots of discourse online about who should the first crossover character be. People were saying Kiryu from Yakuza, Tifa from Final Fantasy, fucking Shrek. I'll be honest though, looking back at the Tekken 7 DLC roster, there were some hits, there were definitely some misses. I wouldn't say it was the most inspiring roster out there. We got Noctis in Season 1, I remember, so... I mean, look, it depends if they're going to keep up this sort of trend. But considering they brought Lydia back as a DLC character, we got that hint of Anna potentially being DLC for Tekken 8 as well. I think we should expect something similar to what we got with Tekken 7, and I'm not too excited. I think the only characters in the end that I was really excited for and ended up using were Kunimitsu. That was about it, the new Kunimitsu. Leroy became really good after the fact, and he was a mainstay for Tekken 8, but the DLCs for Tekken 7, I didn't really care for in the end, despite reacting to them all those years ago. So, and this current roster, the year one pass, the year one DLC characters of Lydia, Eddie, Heihachi, I'm still pissed about Heihachi, and now Clive, it's not really inspiring to me. I'm not really fussed either way. If I didn't pay for the Ultimate Edition and get all the year one DLC characters included, I wouldn't have bought Clive. I don't have any attachment to him. I don't have any attachment to Final Fantasy 16, so it's not my cup of tea, and I know it's not a cup of tea for a lot of people. That's the weird thing. That's the weird dichotomy I've got right now when watching the Clive Rosefield trailer. He does look like a cool character, I will completely admit that. But even still, it almost feels like too edgy. And, you know, I'm the guy who loves edgy characters. You look at the front cover of my book, you look at him and you think, damn, he's an edgy boy. That's because I love edgy sort of things. I love edgy music, edgy, stories. I am all about that. So, this guy, Clive, fucking Clive, the child of fate, the son of fire. He comes in with a fucking phoenix kicking Jin's ass, and I think, yeah, it looks cool, but it's almost bordering on too much for me. I don't know, something about this is just not sitting right with me. maybe it's just the concept, maybe it's the pure idea and of knowing, hey, we're getting a Final Fantasy crossover character into Tekken. It's not going to be anyone that people asked for. Maybe it's because it's that situation. I'm a bit like neither here or there, but whatever. We'll see what he ends up being like when he pops out in a few days. There are a few really cool things though. I'm actually really, really happy that Tekken 8 won game like best fighting at the Game Awards. That is awesome. Considering it was up against like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and Tekken has always kind of been like the dark horse when it comes to mainstream fighting games, like compared to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. It used to be the least popular of the three, but now it's like come all this way, and Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 have blown expectations out the water. I am so happy that Tekken 8 won that award. Very well deserved. Very cool game and a lot of fun, no doubt. But when it comes to DLC characters, we've been through the ringer with Tekken 7. We know we should expect that. Like, honestly, we're probably gonna get Anna again in season 2 again. Like, that's irony if I've ever seen it. And getting Lydia as a DLC character again, that's that they like their trends. They stick to their trends. And now we got the main character from Final Fantasy coming over again. It's the trends, man. Just keep an eye on the trends. That's how they usually go with Tekken DLCs. I mean, on top of the Game Awards as well, like Tekken getting that Guinness Book of World Record, like, I'm actually going to double check what it was. It was like longest fighting game story or longest video game story. Here it is. Longest running video game storyline. That's what it is. That's awesome. Like, Tekken getting in the news a lot more for stuff like the Game Awards, for stuff like the Guinness Book of World Records. Like, Tekken being as popular as it's ever been is awesome. And I'm really happy about that. It's just, yeah, we have to keep our expectations a little bit lower when it comes to DLC. I'm still holding out hope there's going to be more DLC story. That's not just like something that's happening alongside the main story. I want like a sequel. I want to see what happens after. I don't want to wait till I'm fucking 30 for Tekken 9 to see what happens with Reina. Jesus Christ. But saying stuff like that, let me know your thoughts down in the comments about what do you think of Clive Rosefield and his trailer. What do you think is going to be the surrogate for Negan? That's what I'm curious about. The out of the blue, like out of the box crossover character. Like, what sort of franchise similar to like The Walking Dead is that big where we could have a character, like a real character crossover? I'm curious what other crossovers we'll get. But we should have seen this one coming, guys. We got absolutely fucking duped. And as well, buy my book. That's another thing I'm going to tell you to do. Buy my bloody book. Let me know if you want to fight me in Tekken 8, by the way. I haven't played it in a little bit, and I want to hop back on. Since the last video I did about Tekken 8, I haven't played. Check those out as well if you want. But yeah, let me know what you think about Clive Rosefield. I think he'll be cool and fight probably eerily similar to Noctis. I mean, I've seen some similar moves in the trailer, but he has a cool aesthetic. He has some cool additional shit he can do. So yeah, we'll see what he's like to fight in the game. But yeah, have a good one, guys. I will see you next time.